The fight between the two friends shook the entire town. Elders rushed to separate them, women screamed, and children peeped from behind their mothers' cloths. Never before had Akwatia seen the farmer and the hunter raise hands against each other. The people whispered, "This is Abena's doing. She has brought fire to our land." But the two men were blinded by desire. That very night, the farmer slipped into Abena's aunt's compound. The moonlight bathed his broad shoulders as he whispered her name. Abena appeared, waist beads glowing faintly, her smile sharp as a blade. She let him in. Only a few nights later, the hunter did the same. He, too, was welcomed. Abena, with her honeyed words and burning eyes, gave herself to both men, one after the other. What they did not know was that the gods were watching every moment, and with each betrayal of their oath, the anger of Tano grew. Soon, the consequences began. The farmer's yam fields, once rich and abundant, withered mysteriously. The tubers rotted in the ground, and no matter how hard he worked, the harvest failed. At the same time, the hunter's traps and arrows brought nothing back from the forest. Day after day, he returned empty-handed, his scarred arm heavy with shame. The town began to murmur. "The gods are angry," they said. "Brothers of the spirit do not share a woman. This has brought a curse." But the two men refused to listen. Their hearts burned only for Abena. Their jealousy grew, so fierce that they no longer spoke. If they crossed paths in the market, their eyes blazed like fire. Their bond was broken, and Akwatia trembled at the sight. The final blow came when Abena revealed something scandalous. Standing in the middle of the market one morning, she announced with a sly smile, "I carry life within me, but only one of you is the father." Gasps echoed through the marketplace. Women covered their mouths, men shook their heads, and the elders struck their staffs on the ground in anger. This was not only a scandal, it was blasphemy. To mock the oath of friendship in such a way was to mock the gods themselves. The farmer claimed the child was his. The hunter swore it was his. Their voices rose, their pride clashed, and for the first time in Akwatia's history, blood spilled between brothers of the spirit. In a moment of rage, the farmer struck the hunter, and the hunter drew his knife. Before the crowd, they fought like enemies. Abena stood watching, her smile fading as the crowd cursed her name. "Destroyer," they shouted. "Witch," they cried, and then thunder rolled across the sky. The earth shook beneath their feet. The shrine of Tano, miles away, was cracked with fire. The priestess fell into a trance and screamed, "The gods are angry. The brothers have broken their oath, and the land will bleed until they are punished." A hush fell over the crowd. The gods themselves had. The priestess's scream echoed through the town like a war drum. All of Akwatia gathered before the shrine of Tano the next morning. The air was thick with fear. The farmer stood on one side, his chest heaving, eyes bloodshot. The hunter stood on the other, gripping his knife, his scarred arm trembling. Between them, Abena walked slowly, her waist beads rattling like a warning bell. The priestess raised her staff, her white cloth glowing in the firelight. Two friends swore an oath before Tano, she thundered. They swore that not even women would come between them. But today, their blood boils for one woman. And now, their bond is broken. The gods demand judgment. The crowd roared in agreement. Some cursed Abena, others spat on the ground at the sight of her. But still, the men's eyes never left her. Desire still burned, even in the face of death. The priestess called for silence. She turned to Abena. "Child of Akra, do you know the ruin you have caused? Tell us, who is the father of your child?" The marketplace fell silent. Even the goats tethered nearby stopped bleating. Abena placed her hand on her belly and smiled a smile too calm, too dangerous. "Neither," she said. Gasps shook the crowd. The farmer staggered. The hunter dropped his knife. "Neither?" the priestess asked, her eyes wide. Abena's voice rang out clearly. "This child belongs to another, a man of power, a man who walks among you." She turned her head slowly, her eyes fixing on the chief of Akwatia, who sat at the front, adorned in gold and kente. The crowd erupted. Women wailed, men shouted, and the chief's guards stepped forward in panic. The chief himself trembled, his mouth dried. Abena's secret had torn not only the bond of friendship but the entire foundation of Akwatia's leadership. The priestess slammed her staff to the ground. Fire leapt from the altar, and the sky thundered. "The gods are not blind," she cried. "Abena is not only a temptress, she is the instrument of ruin. Her womb has become the battlefield of men's pride. For this, she is cursed." At that moment, Abena screamed. The waist beads around her waist snapped like dry twigs and scattered across the shrine floor. Her beauty dimmed, her glowing ebony skin dulled, her bright smile twisted into anguish. She fell to her knees, her body trembling as if something unseen tore her apart from within. The farmer and the hunter tried to rush to her, but the priestess raised her staff. No, you are guilty too. Your oath is broken. From today, your names will be remembered not as brothers of the spirit, but as enemies cursed by lust. The earth split between them, a crack running across the shrine floor. It was as if the land itself decided they should never walk the same path again. From that day, one farmed only in the east, the other hunted only in the west. They never met again. As for Abena, she was banished from Akwatia. They say she wandered the land, her beauty gone, her laughter silent. Some say she died in the forest. Others whisper she still roams, searching for men foolish enough to fall for her charms. And so, the elders taught, two friends must never share one woman, for in her arms may lie not only desire but also destruction. The gods do not forgive such betrayal. The story of the farmer, the hunter, and Abena spread far beyond Akwatia. Travelers carried the tale across Ghana, from the bustling markets of Kumasi to the fishing villages along Cape Coast. Everywhere it was told, people shook their heads and warned their children, do not betray your brother for a woman, for the gods are watching. Elders repeated the tale around the fire at night, their voices low and heavy. Mothers whispered it to their sons as they grew into men, reminding them that friendship was sacred, that loyalty was stronger than lust. And to the young women, the lesson was just as sharp. Beauty is a gift, but when used as a weapon, it destroys not only others but also the one who wields it. The priestess of Tano never allowed another oath to be sworn so lightly. She would point to the crack that still split the shrine floor and say, "This is what happens when desire breaks brotherhood." The land itself remembers betrayal. Some believe that the ghost of Abena still roamed the forests around Akwatia, her broken waist beads rattling in the wind. Hunters claimed they saw her shadow at night, her once radiant skin now pale, her smile twisted into sorrow. She would call to them sweetly, asking for help. But those who followed her voice were never seen again. The farmer and the hunter lived long lives, but never as brothers again. Though they walked the same earth, they were divided forever. Their children were forbidden to marry, their families forbidden to trade with one another. The curse of their broken oath lived on for generations, a reminder carved into the very bloodline of Akwatia. And so, the ancestors made the law firm. Two friends must never lie with the same woman. It was not only a rule of morality, but a shield against chaos. For in the heat of desire, even the strongest of bonds can shatter. The story ends with a chilling warning, repeated by every elder across the land. A woman's beauty can unite kingdoms, but it can also burn villages. And when two brothers of the spirit choose to fight over her, they do not only lose her, they lose themselves. And that is why, even today, in many parts of Ghana, the rule still stands. Brothers, friends, even distant companions, avoid sharing one woman. For the ancestors have spoken, and their words echo like thunder. Two friends, one woman, and the gods will never forgive.